The Last Kiss, A Mother's Promise. It began on a quiet evening, the kind of silence that feels heavy, like the world is holding its breath. The hospital room smelled faintly of flowers and antiseptic. Outside, rain traced silver lines down the window. Inside, a woman lay beneath white sheets, her breath shallow but steady, her eyes watching the door. She was waiting. Her name was Lena Williams, 32 years old, once full of laughter, now fragile as glass. And yet, in her eyes still lived something fierce, love. The door opened. A little girl ran in, her laughter lighting up the sterile air. "Mommy," she squealed, climbing onto the bed. Lena smiled, a weak, trembling smile that carried the weight of everything she couldn't say. "Hey, my sunshine." The child was Emma, 3 years old, with curls like gold and a voice soft as morning light. She had no idea that her mother's heartbeat was racing not from joy, but from the effort of staying alive. A year earlier, Lena's world was simple, mornings of pancakes and cartoon giggles, nights of lullabies and kisses goodnight. Until one day, the pain came. First as a whisper. Then a roar. The diagnosis shattered everything. Stage 4. Stomach cancer. Her husband, Daniel, sat beside her, his hands shaking as the doctor spoke. "We can try treatment," the doctor said softly, "but it's advanced. You should prepare. Prepare. How do you prepare to leave your child behind?" That night, Lena stood by Emma's crib, watching her daughter sleep, the slow rise and fall of her tiny chest, the faint murmur of dreams. She pressed her lips to her daughter's forehead. And she made a silent promise. "I will fight. I will fight with everything I have, for you." The months that followed were a blur of needles, nausea, and pain. Every morning, Lena would paint on a smile before Emma woke up. "Mommy, your hair fell out," Emma once said, giggling as she touched her mother's smooth scalp. Lena laughed, though her heart ached. "I know, sweetheart. Now Mommy looks like a superhero." And to Emma, she was. Even when she could barely stand, Lena insisted on reading bedtime stories, her voice thin but steady. She told tales of brave mothers, kind children, and angels who watched from the stars. When the nights were hardest, when she could no longer hide the pain, Daniel would hold her. "Why is it getting worse?" she'd whisper. He couldn't answer. He just held her tighter. One morning, when the doctor said her time was short, Lena asked Daniel for one last thing. "I want to take Emma to the park." He hesitated. "You can't walk, Lena." "I don't need to walk," she interrupted. "Just push me there. Please." So he did. That afternoon, the sun was warm, the sky impossibly blue. Daniel pushed her wheelchair through the park, with little Emma skipping ahead, her red balloon bobbing in the wind. "Mommy, look," Emma shouted, pointing at a butterfly landing on her hand. Lena's eyes filled with tears. "It's beautiful, baby. Don't let it go." She watched her daughter run through the sunlight, her laughter echoing through the air like a melody. And for a moment, Lena forgot the pain. She forgot the fear. She just felt alive. Later, as the sun dipped low, Lena whispered to Daniel, "If I could choose again, I'd still choose this life. Even if it ends here." Because I got to be her mom. The next evening, Lena's body began to fail. Her breathing grew shallow, her pulse faint. Daniel stayed by her side, gripping her hand as if love alone could anchor her soul to the earth. The nurse said quietly, "She doesn't have long." But Lena wasn't ready, not yet. She had one more promise to keep. "Dan," she whispered, "bring Emma." He lifted the sleeping child and laid her gently beside her mother. Lena turned her head, her lips trembling as she gazed at her daughter's face. So small. So perfect. "Hey, my angel," she murmured. "It's time for Mommy to go rest, okay?" Emma stirred, still half asleep. "Are you sick again?" Lena smiled through the tears. "A little. But listen. Even if you can't see me, I'll still be here. Every time you laugh. Every time you dream. That's me." Then, with all the strength she had left, Lena lifted a trembling hand to her daughter's cheek and pressed her lips there, soft, lingering, full of everything she couldn't say. The last kiss. And in that kiss, she gave her daughter all the love she had left. Then her hand fell. Her chest stilled. And the world went quiet. After. Morning came with sunlight, cruel in its warmth. Daniel sat by the bed, her cold hand in his, the other wrapped around the tiny fingers of his daughter. "Daddy," Emma asked softly, "Mommy still sleeping?" He swallowed hard, forcing a smile. "Yes, sweetheart. She's sleeping with the angels now." Emma frowned. "Then we'll wake her up later?" He pulled her close, tears falling silently. "No, baby. Not later. But she's watching us from the sky." The little girl looked out the window, then pointed. "There's Mommy. She's in that shiny star." Daniel looked up, and for a moment, he could almost believe it. A week later, while packing Lena's things, he found a sealed envelope under her pillow. On the front, in her delicate handwriting. "For Daniel and Emma, when the sun feels too far away." He opened it slowly. "My loves. If you're reading this, I've gone where pain can't reach me anymore. Daniel, thank you for holding me through every storm. You were my home. Emma, my sweet girl, if you ever wonder why I left, know this, I didn't. I'm in the wind that plays with your hair, in the sunlight that warms your hands, in the laughter that fills this house. Love doesn't end when breath does. It changes form, that's all. Promise me you'll both live bravely. Love deeply. And never forget, even when you can't see me, I'm still right here. Always. Mommy." Daniel pressed the letter to his chest, tears falling freely for the first time since she passed. Years later. Time softened the ache, but it never erased it. Emma grew up. She had her mother's eyes, the same spark of kindness, the same stubborn smile. On her 6th birthday, her teacher asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Emma thought for a moment, then said proudly, "I want to be a doctor, so mommies don't have to go to the stars anymore." That night, Daniel cried alone in his room, not out of sadness, but pride. He looked up at the sky and whispered, "Do you see her, Lena? She's becoming everything you hoped she'd be." And in the stillness of the night, a gentle breeze brushed against his cheek, warm, familiar, like a kiss. The butterfly returns. On the anniversary of her death, Daniel and Emma returned to the same park. Emma ran across the grass, laughing, her hair flying behind her like sunlight. Suddenly, a butterfly, golden and delicate, landed on her hand. She gasped. "Daddy!" "Mommy came back again." Daniel knelt beside her, his heart trembling. "Yes, baby. She never really left." They sat together in silence, watching the butterfly flutter away into the open sky. That night, as the stars filled the sky, Emma looked up and whispered, "Good night, Mommy. I love you." Daniel smiled, tears glistening. And in that quiet moment, he realized, love is not measured by time. Love is the echo that never fades, the warmth that lingers long after goodbye, the last kiss that keeps beating inside the heart of the one left behind. Some people think death ends love. But love, true love, doesn't die. It stays, in every heartbeat it once touched. So if you've ever lost someone, look up. Somewhere between the stars and your memories, they're still there, smiling, loving, watching over you.